Good morning, best buds. What's up? We're here on Saturday morning, a little bit later than normal, but we're here nonetheless. Sometimes you got to handle baby stuff. Sometimes you got to do stuff for the wife, and sometimes you just got to do stuff for yourself. So it leaves very little time for you guys, unfortunately, but we are here. So we're going to knock out a strain review this morning, and we are also going to do some news. We got a lot of stuff to cover today. There's this little article, well, not little, it's a pretty big article, a report about Trulieve I want to get to today. So strap on in. Let's get our little bowl, our little piece here. If you guys brought your bowl or your piece, your pipe, your bong, whatever you got, let's go ahead and take a little toke together. We're going to roll the intro and get into this thing, okay? Here we go. Beautiful. That's the way to start the show. All right, let's roll this intro and we'll get right on into this thing. All right, here we go. We got lots of news to cover today. We got lots of stuff to do. It's going to be an exciting morning. We've got the strain review coming at the end, just like we always do. And first off, I just want to say it is a beautiful morning here in Florida. I know we were supposed to kind of be rained out today, but it looks like today might actually be a nice morning, a nice first start to the day. So if you can, get out there and get something done. We got Christmas right around the corner. So, I know a lot of you are going to be doing Christmas shopping, last minute picking up of items. Make sure you get out there today and enjoy it. Tomorrow's going to be a wet one, and then, we start the week and we got Christmas. So there's a lot going on. You guys need to enjoy the time that you have off, and if you are off, get out there and have some fun today. All right, we're going to go to the share screen and get into our first story of the day. So let's switch that over here real quick, and then I will bring up what we need to do here. All right, this first story here is from the Marijuana Moment, and it is of political nature. Once again, you guys know that I only discuss political topics when it really kind of has to do with cannabis or what's going on in the nation with cannabis or in our state. This one is kind of on the national level of what's going on. And the title read, GOP Congressman knocks his party for failing to pass marijuana reform. Now, this title is just a little bit misleading. I wouldn't say that that's exactly what goes on here, but we're going to read a little bit of this, and you guys can form your own opinion. I'm not here to give you an opinion of my own that you need to take. I'm here to bring you some news and some insight from my side, and you guys can form an opinion on your own. A Republican congressman says that whichever party is responsible for passing federal marijuana reform will instantly shoot up the polls, while lamenting the fact that the GOP failed to do so when they controlled the House. Now, it's very interesting that you're hearing this in these words printed right here on this news report, because I have said the very same thing for months. Whichever party decides to pick up this topic, I believe this might be a swing topic. It's gonna, this is a topic that gets people released from prison. This is a topic that gets a lot of people's records expunged. I think that this is definitely where this is going. One of these parties is going to need to pick this up, and unfortunately, it's going to bolster that party. It's really going to, give them a shot in the arm. I can tell you one specific party that could use a shot in the arm, but I'll let you figure that out for yourself. Republican Thomas Massie of Kentucky, a vocal advocate for hemp, was asked by Fox Business host Kennedy on Wednesday whether cannabis should be rescheduled under federal law. Absolutely, he said. The first party that does this, and I don't understand why either party won't do it, is going to instantly gain 10 points in the general poll on which party versus the other. I agree. I don't know about the 10 points. I'm really not sure how the point structure works out for that in the polls. I don't necessarily even believe any of these polls, but I do believe that whichever party picks this up, they're definitely going to get a bolster in the numbers. That's for sure. The House Judiciary Committee approved legislation last month to end federal marijuana prohibition, but it hasn't been scheduled for the floor action. Massie made similar points during an interview with Marijuana Moment earlier this year, stating that if Republicans had advanced states' rights-focused marijuana legislation, I think we might be in the majority. Now, this is something that I think most Americans, maybe even Democrats, don't necessarily understand about the GOP. We are not about big federal government. We are more so about states' rights. And I don't know how I can stress this or get it around to any of you other folks that may see things a different way. But I personally am totally against Big Fed. I don't want Big Fed in my pockets. I don't want them taking my revenue dollars. I don't want them telling me what I can and cannot do with my body as far as it goes, at least with marijuana. I don't want that. I would rather the states have the rights, because here's the thing. When the states have the rights, you, the little person, your voice is bigger because there are much less people voting on these topics. So you have a much stronger chance of making a very large impact. This is why I'm always have been in support of states' rights. And here's the good thing. If the state doesn't do something you like, and I know that this is difficult for some out there and maybe even impossible for a smaller number, but if the states aren't doing the things that you want, you can leave. There's 49 other states for you to choose from. So, go to another one and see if their laws better suit you. If we do these things on a national level, you're going to have to leave the country in order for something to, work right in your life or be comfortable with you. So I'm a big advocate for states' rights, and I think that states' rights legalization efforts should be what the federal government allows us to do. That should be the direction that they push us in. All right, let's go on. Now, enough of my soapbox for the morning. Massey made similar points during an interview with Marijuana Moment earlier this year, stating that if Republicans had advanced states' rights-focused marijuana legislation, I think we might still be in the majority. Of course, while Massey has supported legislation to allow states to set their own cannabis policies without federal intervention, as well as other modest reform measures such as protecting banks that service marijuana businesses, he's so far declined to co-sponsor any bills that seek descheduling cannabis. So that's interesting, right? He is about these different states having their laws the way they want, but on the same level doesn't want to deschedule the cannabis, or at least hasn't voted on a bill that will do so. That's interesting. Though it's not clear exactly how much of a boost either party would get by passing a marijuana reform bill, a Pew poll released last month does show that there's a majority support for legalization among those who lean Republican, 55%, as well as those who lean Democrat, with a much larger number of 78%. Now, once again, you guys can go and check this out. I found this at the Marijuana Moment. If you want to read more stories like this or find this, you can go there. But for the most part, that's kind of my job, right? That's Best Bud's job, is to bring you these interesting topics and stories and mind benders to kind of get you guys to interact with me socially. So you can also find this on my Facebook page if you guys want to head over there and check that out. You guys can look there. I like to bring you these little stories, like I said, mostly because I think that they kind of clue us into the climate of what's going on, even though, a lot of these stories are bunk and you really can't trust a lot of the reporting. But, whatever. That's my high horse. All right, the next topic we have for today comes from an app that I have called Newsbreak. Now, for those of you that follow me on Best Buds, I wanted to clear up something here. When you go to click these links for this Newsbreak app, you don't have to necessarily download the app. What I would encourage you to do is take a look at the title of the story that's being read there. Go and plug that into Google, and you'll be able to read this story free and clear from wherever source material it came from. I don't want you guys to feel like that I'm pushing some kind of app, because I'm just simply not. It's easy for me because this comes across on my app. Now, if you have this app, the Newsbreak app, you will see these stories pop up, and at the very bottom of these stories, you will see, let me show you right here. You will see read the full story, and normally, let's just click on it right here. This will take you to the main source for the story. Okay, it's the Sun Sentinel, South Florida Sun Sentinel is where this story comes out of. So we're gonna read it from there, and let's get right into this. It says legalized marijuana group drops out of 2020 Florida ballot. Won't yet endorse another rival campaign. Okay, so we know we had a couple of groups on the ballot this year for legalizing marijuana in a state level, okay, inside the state of Florida. All of you have your different opinions to who you support, and I support your choice to have those opinions. I, of course, have my own, and I will support your respect of my decisions. So, that's something we need to do on a personal level for everybody that's in this country, is we need to respect their right to decisions. But we also need to encourage informed decisions. So let's take a look at this story. One of the two major recreational marijuana campaigns in Florida has given up on making the 2020 ballot, but it's still unclear if they will work to actively support the industry-backed marijuana petition that still has a chance for next year. I want to go and check something out here real quick before we go any further. Okay, yep, sorry. Just wanted to check and make sure you guys could hear me. In an email to supporters Monday, leaders of the Regulate Florida ballot initiative, which called for the state to regulate marijuana in the same way as alcohol, acknowledged they would not collect the necessary petition signatures before the February 1st deadline. Okay, now I wanted to explain that as well. The February 1st deadline for the petition signatures actually comes to an end on January 1st, okay? Because they need to take that time to verify all of those signatures. Now, this is problematic because I don't really know if the legalization measure that we have in MILF has even met that requirement or will meet that requirement by January 1st. This is the sad part of things, okay? Now, I understand a lot of you out there are advocates for home grow, and I am too. I think that we should all be allowed to home grow. But here's the problem. If we don't get one of these legislation bills passed, we will still be facing prosecution like you've never seen. The police will still be arresting people for stupid minor offenses. People will continue to sit in jail and in some cases prison for what should not be prisonable offenses. I think it's incumbent upon us to take some kind of action here. At least, so at the very least, the very bare minimum, we can relieve the people that want to partake in marijuana from legal action. That's the goal, right? I mean, that's what the goal of legalization is. Not necessarily home grow. It's a nice aspect of legalization. But the idea is that we need to legalize. We need to take this out of the criminal justice system's hands. That's the main point of all of this. They've got us all divided over this home grow thing, and the whole time we're missing the point. The point is we need to make this no longer illegal. And I'm not endorsing big corporations making all the money. That's not where I'm at with this. But I'm trying to look at what gives us the best opportunity at legalization. And unfortunately, it looks like that might be MILF, but we don't know because that January 1st deadline is approaching, and they haven't told us much of anything. So here we go. It says, because the signatures have 30 days to be verified by elections prior to the deadline, petitions need to be submitted, there you go, by January 1st. The group had 92,540 verified signatures as of Monday, well short of the required 766,200. The group had collected enough to trigger court and financial reviews, however. Karen Goldstein, vice chair of Regulate Florida, said the group was very disappointed, of course, but as we said in the email, we're not giving up. Even though we're not making the ballot, we feel we can reform federal or Florida marijuana laws as best we can, depending on what happens in the election and legislative process. I agree with them here, okay? And they're coming out and actually saying this. I think they're saying this in a subversive way, but they're telling you right here, we can try to do our best to make changes, but I think that we need to have something put in place. This is our time. This is our chance. This is our opportunity. Let's not waste it. But she said the Regulate Florida board has not made a decision on whether to actively work to support Make It Legal Florida's initiative. Make It Legal is backed by two of the biggest medical companies, MedMen and Parallel, formerly known as Sotera, and its petition will allow established pot companies to distribute recreational pot as they do medical pot. Now, I don't know if any of you are keeping up with what's going on in the industry, but MedMen is possibly on their last legs. This is why they're spending this money and pushing so hard for this to happen, because right now these guys are in a crap ton of debt. They're up to debt up to their eyeballs in it, and they might just go out of business here in 2020. So I don't know Sotera. I've not kept up on them, but I will tell you that MedMen is in a dangerous position, and I guarantee that's why they're pushing for state legalization. Let's wait and see if it makes the ballot, Goldstein said. Make It Legal Florida Chair Nick Hansen, who also works for MedMen, has said his group has collected more than 600,000 signatures as of earlier this month. Okay, so I don't know if they're talking about November here or December, but that leaves us 166,200 signatures short. And remember, of these 600,000 signatures, they all have to be verified. If there are any of these that can't be verified, they don't count. So the idea would be going into this with 8 or 900,000 signatures, so that way you have some room for error on the verification. The group has had 159,521 verified signatures as of Monday. Now this report came out earlier this week. Let me check the date on this. This came out December 16th. So yeah, they're talking about this month. They had 600,000 this month. People, this is what we're staring down right now. We're staring down the possibility of having legalization in our grasp and losing it. I'm telling you, losing it. I don't know if that scares you at all, but that bothers me quite a bit. I mean, I'm a med patient, but good Lord, people won't be able to take advantage of marijuana just simply because a lot of folks weren't going to be able to home grow, this sounds a little crazy to me. But once again, that's my opinion, and everyone's entitled to theirs. So this is kind of the story here. If you guys want to go check this out, this is from the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Legalized marijuana group drops out of 2020 Florida ballot. Regulate Florida is out of there. They're done. They are not showing any kind of leaning either way towards endorsing MILF just yet. But we will see, right? I think they're going to wait and see if they get those 766,000 ballots or signatures, sorry. And if they do, I think you're going to see a big backing by these guys. That everybody's going to jump on board to back it. Why wouldn't you? We need it to pass. All right, let's head on to our next story here. All right, let me close that out. All right, now this story is out of the New York Times. I am not a big New York Times supporter or reader, but interestingly enough, when this story came across, when the story broke, the New York Times had the absolute most honest article title. Okay, teen marijuana vaping soars, displacing other habits. Now, I went on to look at the other news breaks that happened right after this, and many other sources broke this. CNN, ABC, NBC, all of those broke this story. But what they did is they took out the displacing other habits part and really just wrote titles that were more along the lines of teen marijuana vaping soars. Like, that's where they left it, okay? And so I have to say big ups to the New York Times on this one. I'm glad they kind of, did the best they could to make this objectionable. But let's read this. Teen marijuana vaping soars, displacing other habits. Drinking, cigarette smoking, and the use of hard drugs all declined, according to a new federal survey of high school and middle school students. All right, it says here that teenagers are drinking less alcohol, smoking fewer cigarettes, and trying fewer harder drugs, a new federal survey data shows. But these public health gains have been offset by a sharp increase in vaping of marijuana and nicotine. These diverging trend lines published Wednesday are among the findings in the Monitoring and Future Survey, a closely watched annual study by the National Institute on Drug Abuse, or NIDA, of 8th, 10th, and 12th graders. The survey shows that youth drug use and experimentation continue to undergo significant evolution. Let me scroll down here. Most troubling in the public health experts in this year's report were sharp increases in marijuana vaping of 12th graders surveys studied. 14% said they had vaped marijuana in the last month, nearly double that of the 7.5% reported a year ago. The percentage of teenagers who said they had vaped marijuana once or more over the last year essentially doubled during that past 2 years as well, rising to 7% for 8th graders, 19.4% for 10th graders, and 20% for 12th graders. Okay. The survey found that 3.5% of 12th graders and 3% of 10th graders report daily use, the first year the researchers had asked the question. The data also echoed statistics that the government released in September about e-cigarettes, with a quarter of high school seniors reporting that they had vaped nicotine within the last month, along with 1 in 4 10th graders. This is a very, very worrisome trend, Dr. Nora Volkow, director of NIDA, said, with rise in both types of vaping among young people. Vaping of marijuana was in the root of the public health crisis unfolded this summer when more than 2,000 people across the country, many in their teens and 20s, became gravely ill with a lung illness that left many of them unable to breathe on their own. Most of the patients said they had vaped THC, the high-inducing ingredient in marijuana. Now, I want to say that we're going to go on to read a little bit more of this, and they're going to cover that, but I don't like how they just outright blame marijuana in this paragraph and don't cover the black market situation until a further paragraph. To me, that seems a little bit irresponsible, but they are going to get to it. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, there have been 2,409 cases of hospitalization associated with vaping lung illness nationwide and 52 deaths. Many of those who died were middle-aged or older, though one was 17. Public health experts have said that the cause is not entirely clear, but appears to stem from the way the lungs struggle to process certain oils used in black market, there you go, they squeezed it in 2 paragraphs later, black market vaping devices. They have identified vitamin E acetate, an ingredient in some products, as a possible cause. Though vaping of marijuana is on the rise, the overall rates of using the drug in all forms, smoking, vaping, and edibles, were mixed. The rate of overall marijuana use held steady for high school students who reported using it once or more over the past year, but there was an uptick in daily use. The Monitoring and Future survey this year did give public health experts a number of reasons to feel encouraged, as high school students report declined use of many substances, including alcohol and tobacco, continuing a long-term trend. That's great news. Roughly 52% of high school seniors said they had used alcohol in the last year, along with 37.7% of 10th graders. Those figures have been dropping for years. In 2000, it was 73.2% of 12th graders that said they had used alcohol and 65.3% of 10th graders. Wow, we have seen almost a halving with the 10th graders and, a significant, almost 25% drop with the high schoolers, the 12th graders. I think that that's great news. Let's go on. It says cigarette use continued to drop as well. The portion of seniors who reported smoking in the last month fell to 5.7%, down from 13.6% just 5 years ago. That is more than a halving of that number. And these are great things. This is good stuff. I think this is great information, even though they try to package it all in the vaping scare crisis propaganda. I think it's really good reporting here in that they have added a lot of facts. And if you go in and read these articles, you will find that there are nuggets of truth hidden inside each one of them. I'm not going to go on with any more of the story. I think we've kind of got to the meat and potatoes of this one. New York Times, big ups on you for this one. You kind of reported something okay here. You guys can find this story there. If you don't like going to the New York Times, you can find a link to it on my page at Best Buds. So go ahead and check it out there, and there you go. Before we get into this next story, I'm feeling like hitting this bowl again. I got to tell you, we're going to do a strain review today, and I really like this strain. The terpene profile, all the above. It's just great. It tastes great, smokes smooth, and the high for me is really nice. So let's hit this. I don't know if you guys got your bowl, your bong, your joint, your J, whatever you got. Your blunt for Piz and P out there who says I always disclude blunts. If you got it, go ahead. Let's toke it up. All right. All right, so I told you this was going to be a little bit of a long-winded morning, but we're going to hop over here real quick. I just want to see if anybody joined us for this morning, see if we got a couple people on. It looks like we got a couple people on this morning. Teresa Dye, good morning. Have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you, Teresa. I love you. You have a very Merry Christmas as well. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going great. Jake Robinson, yo, what's up this morning, brother? Busy building skids. Oh, my homeboy is at work building skids. Sorry, dude. I hate that for you. Maybe you'll have to come switch over jobs and come work where I'm at and not work on Saturdays. Paulie, good morning. Time to blaze. Yeah, brother. It is time to blaze. Dallas Spears, good morning. Smoking a little bit of the Gorilla this morning. Are you smoking the Gorilla Skunk or are you smoking the Gorilla Grapes? I want to try the skunk, but I just wanted to know, Dallas, and good morning to you. Paulie, Grape Inferno, great pain relief and great body high. I have not tried the Grape Inferno. If you could drop a link or let me know where you found that, Paulie, that would be awesome. And a little Moon Rock. You've got Moon Rock, Paulie? I know they don't sell those at the dispensary, big guy. I know they don't sell those there. All right, everybody. Let's move on to the next story here real quick. We're going to go to... All right, that one's done. Let's go over here. This one's another one from the Marijuana Moment, a site I love so well. All right, the majority of Americans support marijuana legalization. 2 or more new polls show. Well, you guys already know how I feel about polls. And wait, let me take a quick break to let you know. I'm also on Instagram Live this morning. We kind of been leaving that out for the past few weeks, but I've decided to bring it back. We're coming back strong, Instagram. You'll be able to watch this feed live on Instagram if you want, or you can watch it here on Facebook. You're going to get more content on Facebook, but if you're busy and just want to see my beautiful, smiling, shining face, you can find it on Instagram as well, at JBleazyFashizi. Look up Best Buds. We're on there. It's this logo right here. Look up that awesome logo. Can you see it? Can you see it right there? Look that up either on Facebook or on Instagram, and you'll find me. All right, so majority of Americans support marijuana, and this is proven by 2 new polls. 2 more new political polls show that a majority of Americans are in favor of legalizing marijuana. Fox News survey, which involved phone interviews with 1,000 adults from December 18th through the 11th, showed that 63% of respondents support legalization, the recreational use of marijuana on a national level, while 34% oppose the policy. A Marist poll conducted in collaboration with NPR and PBS surveyed 1,744 Americans from December 9th through 11th. The results similarly showed 62% of respondents saying it is a good idea to legalize cannabis, with 33 stating it would be a bad idea. Well, poo-poo on you, 33%, whoever you are. The last time Fox News posed this question was in January of 2018. 59% said the country should legalize. Marist found that 63% supported legalization as early as July of this year. So that's a really good increase. This holiday season, Americans are more likely than ever to agree in favor of legalizing marijuana when the topic comes up at the dinner table, Justin Streckel, political director of NORML, told Marijuana Moment. With a public majority mandate, now is our time to demand the ending of prohibition in advance of the 2020 elections. There you go. You know, these guys are really amping up what they're saying here with this. The rhetoric is definitely amping up. We're going to see it in 2020. I know we are. A lot of you think that I am crazy. Some of the reports that have come out are kind of supporting your side and to the contrary of mine. So I understand what you're saying, but come on, let's do this. 2020, right? Marist also broke down the poll responses by partisan affiliation. As has been the case for numerous surveys on the issue, those who identify as Democrats or independents who lean Democratic are more supportive of legalization, with 76%, than those who identify as Republican or lean in that direction at 44%. Voters who supported President Trump in the 2016 election expressed greater opposition to the policy than Republicans and Republican-leaning independents as a whole. 40% of Trump supporters said they back legalization, compared to 55% who said it was a bad idea. Now, I don't want to let you guys know where I lean. I know some of you already do because we've had long conversations about it. But I don't know. I'm in that 55%, I'm in that 40% there. So there you go. Every age group except for the silent generation of those 73 and older support ending federal marijuana prohibition, the poll found. It does not appear that Fox News provided demographic details about marijuana legalization supporters and opponents in their survey. Now, I would go on to say that those who are reporting at Fox News are probably in that 55% opposed category. So what is coming out of Fox News might be, if it's something pro-marijuana, it's definitely against their instinct, I would think. This is the latest in a series of recent polls that have shown growing and enduring support for legalization. Pew asked almost 10,000 Americans about the issue and released a survey results last month showing that 67% of respondents believe the country should legalize cannabis. Gallup similarly found that 66% of U.S. adults are in favor of legalization in a poll released just this October. Given this widespread support, particularly among Democratic voters, it's clear why the issue has become a major talking point for the majority of the party's 2020 presidential candidates, almost all of whom back legalization, with notable exceptions of former Vice President Sleepy Joe Biden and billionaire Michael Bloomberg. Okay, so if you're thinking, which right now those two on the Democratic side are front runners, they're front runners. So if you guys that are marijuana partakers, if you think that this should be legalized, I wouldn't go to the polls for Biden, and I certainly wouldn't go to the polls for Bloomberg. Both of which are wealthy men, and both of which are in opposition to what we are trying to do here. All right, that's all I'm going to read of this story, too. I think you guys kind of get the point. All of us, we understand what's going on here. We've read these stories, but we live the life. So, we are in those percentages of people who back legalization. And just like I said earlier in the earlier reports, it's incumbent upon all of us to do what we need to do to get this passed. Check your feelings at the door. Check your wants and desires at the door. If you want to work in the cannabis industry, there is room for you. I'm making a way myself and doing things. I'm not growing. Heck yeah, I'd like to grow. I'd love to grow. I know guys that do grow, that are, you could consider them master growers. But that's just not on the table. So instead of taking my lemons and having a sour face about it, damn it, I'm going to make lemonade. And that's what I encourage all of you to do. Let's make lemonade out of the lemons, okay? Let's make lemonade. This is ridiculous that we could be staring down legalization as a real deal thing in 2020, and yet we still got a lot of people who are like, no, I don't want to do it because I can't grow my own plant. Come on, man. I don't know. That just seems crazy to me. It seems crazy. I'm not saying you guys are out of line, and I'm not saying you're wrong. You're entitled to your own opinion. But Jay Bleasy, Justin Bledsoe, best buds, I think that that's a little bit crazy and a little bit selfish that we can't vote something in to get people out of jail, to get people's records expunged, to get it taken off of the criminal books. I mean, come on, right? I don't know. Maybe some of you guys had something to say about that this morning. I know I could have lost a couple of you there, but... All right, Dallas, he responds back with it's Gorilla Grapes. Okay, cool. I love the Gorilla Grapes. If you haven't seen that review, Dallas, go out there and check it out, man. It's a pretty good review. See if your thoughts lined up with mine. All right, Paulie, thank you for dropping that link in there. Anybody who wants to check out the Grape Inferno popcorn, you can head on over to Liberty Health Sciences. I've been hearing really good things out of Liberty Health. I don't know if they've picked up their game because of all the hate they were getting. They certainly picked up their pricing. But, if they did pick it up in their game, good on them. I'm really happy for them. Thank you, Liberty Health Sciences, for doing the right thing. They've got all these different strains there. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been back because the only two strains you could get when I initially started going there, this was back in July, you could only get your hands on the Blue Dream and what was the other one? I don't remember. Blue Dream and something else. And let me tell you, the Blue Dream, it was good, but I mean, you can only smoke so much Blue Dream, right? And the other one was just god-awful. And neither of the products were fully cured properly at the time. So, at that point in time, I really didn't like what Liberty was doing. But, now I'm seeing from a lot of different people that Liberty is picking it up. So I might try that Grape Inferno. Maybe we'll do a review. Maybe we'll get back to Liberty. We'll see. All right, now, this next story is one that I had caught a little bit of flack for, but in an effort to give you guys pure, unadulterated, factual news, I try to go out there and present all the different ideals that are out. Okay, now, at that point, it is on you to go out and see which ones harmonically vibe with you and which ones don't. If these stories you read just don't vibe with you and you think there's something different out there, then I've done my job. I've spurned you to go forth and look it up for yourself. And that's it. That's all that I'm really here for, is to read you these stories. We'll talk about them a little bit through the chat. And, this gives you guys an option to either give your opinion or say, hey, I need to go and form an opinion on this. Now, Trulieve is a place that has a lot of diversity as far as people's opinions on their company. I have got to say that while it is not the best product that I've ever had, they are certainly the most reliable product. I'm going to hit a cup of my coffee here. I'm going to take a quick sip here. Hope you guys don't mind. Sorry. This cool air out here kind of dries out the throat while you're talking. But anyway, I came across this report that somebody had posted in one of the different groups. And, I believe it comes from somebody who's definitely not a supporter of Trulieve. So you kind of have to take that opinion with a grain of salt. But I do believe that in every piece of propaganda, there's some truth. And I'm not calling this propaganda. But what I am going to say is there's a full report here from this company called Grizzly Reports. They seem to be somewhat reliable from the cursory research that I've done. I don't have all the hours in the day. This is not my full-time job. So unfortunately, I can't spend hours a day researching this. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and hook Jay Bleasy up, hook your boy up, then yeah, I'll do this 24/7 for you. But until then, lay off the messenger, man. I don't have time to research every single aspect. Like, I don't know who gave Grizzly Reports their LLC. I don't know who their lawyers are. Just, back off a little bit and read these things for yourself, form an opinion, or do further research. Well, what we came across here is a report, and it says Trulieve Cannabis Corp. Why we believe the company is a fraud. Now, there is a list of bullet points here that we're going to go through. And then I'm going to kind of read the introduction of this report. You can find a link to this on my Facebook page. I want you to go there. When you click the link, it'll kind of give you, I believe, these bullet points again, but it will give you the option of going to this PDF. I encourage you to click to the PDF and read this report. Okay, some of you are going to concur with this. Some of you guys are going to find this completely out of line. But either way, you will have had an opportunity to gain a grasp on what's going on out there. All right, I'm sure some of you have already started reading this, but let's get through these bullet points. Our on-the-ground due diligence, including drone footage, suggests the majority of the company's cultivation space comes from hoop houses that produce low-quality output that is prone to infestation and weather damage. We found extensive ties between Trulieve and an ongoing FBI investigations into the corruption in North Florida. Trulieve's initial license approval stinks of corruption and involved multiple undisclosed conflicts of interest. CEO Kim Rivers' husband, J.T. Burnett, is at the very center of the FBI probe. He's a right-hand man of disgraced politician Scott Maddox and an integral part to the criminal enterprise accused of charges ranging from racketeering to falsifying statements. Our research indicates that Burnett is Trulieve's key construction partner. Burnett's construction firms were also called out in the subpoena and are involved in scandals involving public funds in North Florida. I wonder if Booker was involved in any of that. Nah, he couldn't have been, right? Booker was a good dude. He didn't take bribes. I digress. Trulieve lies about the nature of its lenders and depicts some of them as third parties, while we could trace back to insiders. Also, all but one lender used shell entities that show no other activities. Now, shell entities, for those of you that don't know, are often a way to cover up the tracks of illegal money. So, take that for what it's worth. Given the opaque setup and lies Trulieve told about its financing sources, we're deeply worried that Trulieve is hiding Inkbridge, a lender of Trulieve that is controlled by Kim Rivers. It's known for using government funds to finance ventures. There are also reports of shady foreign individuals trying to get a foothold in the Florida's medical marijuana industry. We ask, where did the money really come from? The company's portrayed profitability relies on markups on their grown product, which we believe to be highly suspect in light of our findings. Also, the company takes out tiny loans from insiders when it's supposedly swimming in cash. Trulieve is facing several economic headwinds, such as increasing competition with the low-quality production facilities we uncovered. We believe Trulieve will not be able to compete. I don't know about you guys, but if any of this is true, this is big news here. This is big news, okay? Because let me tell you what, MedMen is another one of these giant national conglomerates as far as these companies go, and they are on Skid Row as far as their finances. I don't know if this is true, but I think that we need to go out there and we need to report on these things, because what are we doing? What are we doing if we are not looking into these things that are out there for us to read, right? What are we doing if we're not putting the onus on our own shoulders to go out and find out what's going on? Grizzly Reports seems to have, I don't know, they seem to feel like they're on to something here. Let's go with this introduction. Trulieve is portrayed as the rising star in the cannabis space. Since the company came public in late 2018, it's posted spectacular numbers, far outpacing its peers. Trulieve is also the only publicly traded cannabis company that reports profitability. It's also too good to be true. Our investigations revealed a different side of the company. Trulieve and its insiders are deeply involved in ongoing FBI investigations. CEO Kim Rivers and companies affiliated with her are mentioned in FBI subpoenas. Kim Rivers' husband, J.T. Burnett, is currently indicted for serious charges, such as racketeering. Kim and her husband seem to be at the very center of political crime ring in North Florida that dealt in political favors and allegedly obfuscated government funds. We found out that Burnett Construction Company, which is also mentioned in the subpoena, is the key construction partner of Trulieve. Burnett's financial engineering company is also involved as a direct lender, and the pattern alleged in previous busted deals shows up at Trulieve. The shell companies that financed Trulieve before it went public are deeply suspicious, and they show no other operations, and it's unclear where the funds really came from. We're able to link lenders that Trulieve's disclosed as third parties back to insiders. The company outright lied in its disclosure about the nature of the lenders. Trulieve also fails to disclose several related party transactions with particular names such as One More Wish LLC and Big Wish LLC that can be linked back to Burnett. CEO Kim Rivers is alleged to be central in financing engineering schemes that potentially obfuscated state funds, and we are deeply worried about the source of the Trulieve's funds and the nature of the lenders. We want to remind you that the cannabis businesses still don't have access to legal banking. Kim Rivers and her husband have access to a political network that specializes in accessing government grants and loans. Does anybody feel reminded of the movie The Irishman? Now, if you have not seen The Irishman, it was a Leonardo DiCaprio movie and a Jack Nicholson movie. Really good movie. It kind of talked about how the Irish mafia had their hands inside political areas. Everything is corrupt, right? I mean, geez Louise, like everything is corrupt. It's so hard to find somebody who's out there operating honestly. Even I could be corrupted, right? But I'm not. I'm bringing you guys my honest opinion in these stories here. And I bring you this at the peril of not being sponsored by this company. A lot of you know that I'm out there trying to start companies of my own in this space. And I'm trying to bring you an honest outlook on what's going on. And yes, this could be a complete smear campaign by Grizzly Reports. Could turn out that way. But I do want to go on record as saying that I would more rather put something out there for us to discuss and look into than to not put something out there at all. So, I want to let you know that these views in this are not reflected by Best Buds in any way, shape, or form. This is not my work. This is not my personal research or drone footage. I'm just reading you guys what is out there by Grizzly Reports. All right, they go on to say, we went out and visited Trulieve's growth and production facilities. Interviewed locals and employees, our drone footage reveals stunning insights. Trulieve operates approximately 1.4 million square feet of outdoor hoop houses. Hoop houses are these outdoor kind of greenhouses. They just got a little hoop over them and some plastic. That's the only protection barrier that are on them. These produce low-quality product, prone to infestation and weather damage. Trulieve claims to operate 1.7 million square feet of cultivation space in total. Any company claims of wanting to deliver the highest quality flower possible falter in light of these findings. The company's profitability is largely reliant on paper gains, namely markup on biological assets. Real cash flow has been, in fact, negative. We saw the company's low quality production, which makes us highly suspicious of the markups that are far bigger than in for any other of their peers. The company had to borrow tiny amounts from insiders when it supposedly is swimming in cash. All right, you can go on here and, you can read a lot of this for yourself. Page 3 here, number 2 is the brief history of Trulieve. We're not going to go into that because I don't think that that's super pertinent. The suspicious funding sources. I definitely think you guys need to go into this portion here and read this, especially the area here with the presence of Inkbridge LLC, Sunnyland Solar. They are really getting into this thing right here. Maybe we'll do a breakdown where I will just go completely into this Grizzly report and we will break this down specifically because I think that this is a whole other show. I think this is a whole other thing for us to go into. One that a lot of you political guys might want to get onto and, inform your buddies out there so we can have a really great conversation about this. You can find this once again at my Facebook page. If we scroll down here a little bit, I wanted to show you that they actually have stills. Well, here you go. They have all the different source maps on there. You go down here and they got different pictures and numbers for what's going on. The subscription page. Here are the aerial photos of the hoop houses that they run on the property that they say they run it. You can see there that these are not greenhouses by any shape or stretch of the imagination, which make you wonder how you can grow indoor quality cannabis here in the state of Florida with the temperatures we have. It would be conducive to mildew and mold because of the humidity. There's further pictures here. They got really good stuff with their drone. Good on you, Grizzly, for that. But anyway, if you guys want to go on to my Facebook page and dive into this report, I will let you know later on this week if we're going to do a little deep dive into this. You guys let me know in the comments if this is something you want to go further into. It's interesting to say the least. I can't back up any of these claims. I can't verify any of these claims. Once again, I had a couple people jump on me saying that it was irresponsible reporting, but I think you guys know by this point, I'm not pushing an agenda. I'm not pushing a report. I am bringing you the facts. I am laying it out for you to play it out. You hear me say that all the time. So go on my Facebook page, check it out. You'll see the title here. You'll see the Trulieve Cannabis Corps, why we believe the company is a fraud. Click on the link. It'll take you to the page where you can open up the PDF. Go through the PDF, do the research yourself, take it for what it's worth. All right, we're going to move on to the review of the day. Before we do that, I'm going to hop over here to the comments and see if we have anybody still with us this morning. It looks like we had a few more people join us. Keep going to Trulieve. Rotondo, I am so sorry, bro. Look, even my report this morning is on a Trulieve product. Like I said, for me, it's all about the strains. I try to chase the strains. Sometimes the quality's there, sometimes it's not. For the most part, from my Trulieve, my local one, I've gotten pretty good product. Is it as good as Rise? No. Is it as good as Move? But it's it's generally reliable. They've got selection. They've got something there for me. So, sorry if that butt rubs you the wrong way, but, hey, I want to get the strains, and I get a really good discount there. So, unfortunately, I go. Mike Hilton, heard some conflicting things towards the end of this week. Can you please tell us which ballots are still up and running for recreational? Yeah, I believe Floridians for Freedom is still up. They were the very smallest of them. They were actually the best ballot that was out there. So if you guys wanted to check out one that was conducive to home grow and things of those nature, it was Floridians for Freedom. I have not seen if they've canceled their I guess, ballot initiative or trying to get the petition up. And once again, MILF, Make It Legal Florida. That's still very much a powerhouse. They are at the top of the list as far as being able to make it on the ballot. They are the closest. They had 600,000 signatures, I believe, coming into December. Fingers crossed they get to 766. Those of you that don't like me or hate on me for it, you can do it. That is your God-given right to be able to hate me for the things that I'm saying. And go ahead. But I'm going to do what I can for my brothers and sisters out there that are locked up. People like myself who had little tiny stupid medical or marijuana charges on their record that need to be expunged. Because damn it, this gets me hot. This gets me angry. People are willing to forego letting people out of jail because you can't grow a damn plant. Pull up your big boy pants and get on board and let's make this happen. Sorry, I don't mean to chastise. I don't mean to go off on you guys. But, it really burns my biscuit. Because the thing is we're trying to get people's lives back on track. I'm not trying to build your brand. I'm trying to get people's lives back on track. That's what legalization is all about. Anyway, off my high horse. Mike, hope I answered your question there. I didn't mean to yell at you, big guy. Dallas, I stopped going to Liberty Health for the same reason, the same old stuff. They need to switch it up, and I sure do want, I don't want not to buy anything when the container is open. Yeah, I kind of liked how, I kind of like how Trulieve does seal theirs. They vacuum seal it. I do like the reliability of that. When you open the jar and it's just kind of open, it seems kind of suspicious, right? Pism, what's up, brother? Good morning to you. Steve Moret, what is up, dude? Holy cow, Steve Moret. If this is the Steve Moret of the days that I used to hang out with, this is a guy that I used to run around with when I was like, 10, 11, 12 years old. So many memories with you, Steve. Would love to talk with you, chop it up someday, see what's going on, man. Maybe you could even hook me up with some of them salty, awesome banana chips. I know you know what I'm talking about. We could drink the apple juice in the box with it if you'd like. Good to see you on, buddy. I'm glad you guys made it out this morning and joined us on. If you are just now joining us, go back in the video. We went over this really scathing inside report from a company called Grizzly Reports on Trulieve. You guys need to go to my page. You need to find it, and you need to read this report. Form your own opinion, do your own research, but you need to go out there and read this report. So get on my page, find it, Trulieve, something about their company being a fraud. Click the link, go to the PDF, check it out. Steve Moret, yo. All right, and Pism P is one of my longtime homies too, man. Paul Fumia, if you guys see him on there, show them guys love. I've known those guys forever. All right, guys, let's get into the strain review. I'm gonna click back out of screen share. You guys are seeing all the nuts and bolts. Don't look behind the curtain. Don't look. All right, I'm not the Wizard of Oz. I'm just Jay Bleezy from Best Buds, right? All right. Let's get out of this and go to main screen. Here we go. Whoa! Oh, we're back. All right, so we are going to be taking a look at this right here. Boom! I call it Space Bomb. Now, I did this little markup last night. I haven't been able to really purchase too much stuff here before Fridays, so sorry that I get it out to you last minute, but you know me. I like to make these silly little fun little memes for the stuff that I do. You can find them on Instagram. Somebody actually posted last night that they wanted me to do a a Rise of Skywalker OG. I think I'm going to do that, but I think what I'm really going to do is we're going to go watch the movie, maybe together, and we're going to do like maybe a little review before we go, and we'll do a meme and whatnot. It'll be really freaking dope. You guys will like it. So maybe next week, Skywalker OG. We'll see. We'll see if I can put together the funds, right? It's Christmas. I got to buy presents for kids. So we'll see. We'll see if I can get the money together. But here we go. We are looking at Space Bomb. All right, let's head over to my favorite page for reviews, and that's Leafly. Let me get the other screen up here. All right, we're gonna head over here to Leafly. Leafly Space Bomb. If you guys want to head over to Leafly, they've generally got really good reviews, really good write-ups on the strains. The past couple of weeks have been difficult because the strains that I've been reviewing are from this area. They're local. They're local to our area. They're hybrids of national strains. So, you know, they don't always have it, but hey, we can go on there and actually do reviews for ourselves on Leafly. So if you find a strain that you've gotten and you haven't seen one on Leafly, do your best to put it on there, get it all put on, and get your review up so other people can see what you've experienced. All right, Space Bomb. Here we go, Space Bomb. All right, you can see on the sliding scale here from calming to energizing, it is energizing. I would have to agree with that. I'm definitely not in my low indica tone that I normally am with you guys, especially since having the baby. You can see that I've got a little more energy this morning. That might also be due to this wonderful couffee that I have right here. Space Bomb. Let's check her out. Okay, it says this clone-only cross of Tiny Bomb and Space Queen comes from TGA Seeds. The award-winning Space Bomb will produce beautiful lime green buds with orange throughout. Buds have a fruit candy smell with a little bit of that sweet rot smell and come potent and covered in trichomes. Well, you know me, I always like to post a picture of the product. So let's go to the picture of the product. We'll read that description again and see if it fits. All right, it says, Space Bomb will produce beautiful lime green buds. Yep, I think we got lime green buds there. With orange throughout. I think you can all identify the orange throughout. I'm even colorblind against green, and I can see the orange throughout. The buds will have a fruit candy smell with a little bit of that sweet rot smell. Abso-freaking-lutely. When I told the guy I was trying it, the Trulieve bud tender, I told him, you know, I was excited to try it because I had read about the terpene profile. I love that fruity candy terpene profile. It's awesome. It almost seems like it's something that just shouldn't be growing, right? But it does, and it's really good and really tasty. And for me, those fruity candy terpene flavors generally don't hurt my throat. They smoke really well when I inhale them. It says these come potent and covered in trichomes. I think you can see the trichomes still on these nugs here. So yeah, good on Leafly. I think they nailed the description this time. A lot of times I don't agree with Leafly's description, or only in part, but I think they really nailed this one. All right, feelings. Let's check it out. Uplifted, yes. Euphoric, yes. Happy. I am stoked to be on you with this morning, even though I just chastised all of my watchers. Creative. I'm feeling pretty creative, right? We've done pretty good this morning. Focused. I am laser focused. All right, what does it help with? Let's see what it helps with. Stress. Well, if you're happy and focused, yeah, you're probably not as stressed. Pain, my hip is feeling good. Anxiety, I don't really have any anxiety. Depression, I've never really have that. Fatigue, well, you know, we all have a little fatigue. And a staple on Leafly's reviews on the negatives is dry mouth. When don't you have dry mouth? That's a negative, right? Dry eyes. And paranoid, good to see that all the way down, with dizziness and anxiousness at the bottom. All right, if you go on here, it's really cool. A lot of people do their own reviews. There's 109 reviews here you can find. Some of them are really funny. Some people do these really strange poetic write-ups on these things. It's pretty cool. Just head on over there to Leafly. You'll find it if you type in Space Bomb on Leafly. You'll find this little graphic. If you all aren't familiar with Leafly, each of the different little diamonds there, up there with the SPB in the middle, they are actually, it's a picture description of the effects that the strain will have on you. If you go back into Leafly, you can find out where it gives you a graphic that describes how these effects, these little symbols, these diamonds, point to the effects of the product. So they kind of give you a picture graphic with information inside of it. You have to just decode it yourself. So really cool, Leafly. Love you guys. As far as this strain, my last little bit on this strain, I'm gonna hit it with you. I'm gonna take another rip of this. I've been smoking this all morning, as some of you have probably noticed. I didn't put enough in my bowl this morning, man. I'm already done with it. Holy mackerel. For those of you that are watching on Instagram this morning, awesome. Big ups to you. Thanks, guys. I can't see the comments right now. I can't really get to that. But if you join me on my Facebook page, you're going to get all of the content. And for those of you on with me this morning, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like this strain. If you've tried it, I really do like it. I'm going to put it in my regular rotation. I've got a couple now that are in my regular rotation that I really like. As far as the sativa hybrids, I'm liking the Space Bomb. I also like the HSO Sour Diesel from Rise. Really good strain, really good flavor, just absolutely smooth smoking product. Once again, all of you out there who are med patients, you guys should be finding products that suit you, that don't hurt you, that don't give you the effects that you don't want. If something gives you an effect that you don't like, immediately discontinue use of that product. Don't go back to the strain. If you find a strain that makes you feel like you need to go to the hospital because you're so paranoid, don't smoke any more of it. It's that simple. Stay away from it. Maybe even switch from if it's a sativa that did it, try a hybrid that's more indica dominant. Either way, don't continue to smoke a product even though you paid for it that's not giving you the desired results. It's irresponsible and it's not good for you. So anyway, get out there and take a look at Space Bomb. Here you go. You can see it right there, Space Bomb. Give it a shot. I like it a lot. I'm not telling you guys that it's the end-all be-all, but I really, really, really enjoyed it. I forgot. Let me get to the numbers. The numbers here on this one, let me put this up here real quick. It's kind of low, 17.6 on the THC, but once again, that's different for everybody's body type. That 17 could knock you on the floor. That 17 could be nothing. It's got 0.2 THCV, 0.9 CBG for a total of 18.7%. Once again, the numbers do not tell the tale. So you're going to need to get out there and try this for yourself. All right, everybody. I think that about wraps it up. I'm going to check real quick back to our comments section, see if anybody else is on the comments here. Rolando just got some from Trulieve, and it was 31% THC. Yeah, Rolando, I'm not telling you that you can't find a high percentage THC product at Trulieve, because I have found them as well. All I'm simply saying is what I think Trulieve does best is they are kind of the Walmart, if you will, Walmart, somewhere in between a Walmart and Target of buds in Florida. They are reliable. They always have a good product. Maybe not the most excellent product, but a good product. So I'm not poo-pooing on Trulieve here, especially as far as my interaction with them and the product. I've only had pleasant reactions. The bud tenders have been pleasant with me, and maybe that's just my personality. But I've only had decent reactions at Trulieve. I can't poop on them that way, because I won't do that. I won't just take somebody else's word. It's all experiential for me. You have to have your own experience. So I will tell you that I don't have a problem with them as far as that goes, and I haven't had a problem with them. If you have, do something about it. Call, write the letters, even though it may not accomplish much. Show them your disdain, post it everywhere, do what you need to do to feel better about it. But as always, if you're going to chase strains, you're going to need to go to these places that have the strains. And that's something that Trulieve does very well, especially nowadays. They've been able to keep their flower pretty well stocked, at least in the locations that I go to. All right, that's about it. For those of you that didn't see it this week, I put up on the Cannabis Tours Gulf Coast page, and also I believe on the Best Buds page, our promo for the Cannabis. I don't know if you guys have gotten an opportunity to see that. I'm slowly releasing details about our tours. We're going to be doing cannabis tours around St. Petersburg. They are going to be taking place on our Cannabis. It's our very own bus that we purchased. It's actually getting fixed up right now for you guys so that it's super safe and fun to ride on. And we'll be taking that to many of our events. It will also be available for you guys to rent out. If you got a wedding coming up and you want to be able to, do your thing on a bus that's friendly to doing things. Maybe you want to give us a call, give us a shout. It could be something we could discuss. Either way, maybe you want a night out with the guys. Hit me up, DM me. We'll work on something. It's really great. It's a 15 to 22 passenger bus. It's super cold AC. It's gonna have some TV entertainment in there. It's gonna have yours truly on the tours, providing the entertainment. I think you guys are gonna have a great time. So go check out the promo. It's pretty epic. I put in that O Fortuna or La Fortuna music on there. So it's pretty epic. But go check it out. It's on my Facebook page. The promo video is right after last week's show post. Go see it. I think it's pretty cool. You guys might like it. Tell me it might suck. Whatever. All right. For all of you that joined me this morning, big ups to all of you. Good morning to all of you. I appreciate you guys for taking your time out to watch the show. As always, it's your guys' support that moves me on. This has been one of our biggest viewers shows this morning. I appreciate that in no short term. I love you guys. I love the community. This is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, and it's why I'm so passionate about legalization almost at any length. I want legalization. I just want it. I want it to be able to, free people from what they've been charged with. That's what this is all about. So get out there and do your research. Go over to my Best Buds page. Check out the stories and articles. We just ended on Instagram. I think we rolled over the hour mark. We probably went over the hour mark for this show. But for all of you guys that showed up, I want you guys to have a very, very Merry Christmas. I'm going to try to get back on and do one more show here before Christmas. Maybe a Christmas special. Heck, maybe we even do a show on Christmas. We will celebrate what I like to call Cannabismas, right? We'll have Cannabismas together. So stay tuned for a Cannabismas show. I will post something about it. I'll get it to you. And you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Tomorrow is supposed to get wet out there. So maybe get in your shopping, your last minute shopping today, so you're not out in the craziness tomorrow. Enjoy the holiday season with your family and your loved ones. Try to keep negativity out of your life. Blaze it up. Love you guys. Have a great morning. And I will see you next time right here on Best Buds. That's where you're going to find me.